to the lady, did you? Oh, I thought I saw you roll your eyes for a minute. Well, I got to consider his opinion. You know, he's a boyfriend. I'm glad he wasn't jealous. You know, but then I don't see any reason for him to be mad. He let her sit on the end. I mean, if it had been a matter where I'd gone 7 or 8 seats in to kiss her, then I could understand his being bugged a little. My uncle was jealous. I had an uncle. He was jealous. Caused a lot of problems around my aunt's house, too. See, my aunt was one of those people with a lot of personality. Quite often, when the salesman and the insurance man came by, she'd invite them in for coffee. Just nice, you know. One day, the insurance man was there, and my uncle came home early. Knocked at the door. He generally did that when he came home. I say he came home early because generally by the time he got home, whoever had been there had left. Aunt says, uh-oh, stupid's home early. Said, he's very jealous, too. Said, now, look, I don't want to have to go through a thing explaining to him that we're only friends. I went through it yesterday and all day the day before that and all day the day before that at his mother's house. Now, I don't want him to see you here. Now, you can help me avoid a big problem if you'll jump out the window. The guy said, jump out the window? He said, that's 13 floors. She said, this ain't no time to be superstitious. Salesman said, well, look, why don't I hide behind the couch? She said, because behind the couch is the first place he's going to look. Said, you know he's going to look behind the couch. Said, you better stop standing there asking stupid questions and find someplace to hide. There's another knock at the door. Salesman said, I suppose I hide in the bathroom. She said, you know if he looked behind the couch, he's going to look in the bathroom. Said, if you don't find someplace to hide fast, I'm going to tell him that you broke in and twisted my arm behind my back. So the salesman runs over, you know, he hides in the closet. My aunt opens the door. My uncle says, where were you? She said, I was in the back. I said, well, what are you doing in the back when I'm at the front door? She said, I was cooking. I said, when I'm at the door, let the food burn. Then if I'm at the front door, you're supposed to be at the front door. Said, I knocked 10 times. She said, well, I only heard 9. Uncle said, the other day when I came home, when I looked, I didn't find anybody. Said, but just for the sake of a little sport, I'm going to check again. Said, because for the last 3 months, the only thing you've said to me is, where is the money and why didn't you take out the garbage? Said, and then I noticed that in our room, you got pictures of Willie Mays, Ray Charles, and Harry Belafonte, and I'm the one who's paying the rent. Said, if there's anybody here, he hasn't left. He hasn't gone. Said, because there's only one door. I'm standing in front of that. So he has to come by me. So my uncle walks over and he leans against the closet. Said, now I wonder. Said, if I was here, where would I hide? And he kind of bumps his arm against the closet a couple of times. And the guy inside jumps. Uncle said, well, he said, the first place I think I'll look is behind the couch. The guy in the closet's hearing this. Uncle said, but then he wouldn't hide behind. But I'll look anyway. So he goes over and he looks behind the couch. Said he's not back there. Said he's not behind the couch. Goes over and he leans against the closet. Said, now I wonder where he is. And he kicked the door. The guy inside jumped a little. I said, now I wonder would he hide in the bathroom. I said, that would be ridiculous, but I'll look in the bathroom anyway. I ain't got nothing but time. So he goes over, he snatched the door, looks in the bathroom, said he's not in there. Said he's not behind the couch and he's not in the bathroom. Now, where would he be? The guy in the closet's listening to this, you know. I said, I think I'll check in the closet. And he snatches the door open and he looks, and the guy's standing there with a .45. Said he's not in there either.